Hello everyone and Merry Christmas. My name is Foss and it's coming up on the 1 year anniversary for my channel. So I figured that now would be a good time to do my first ever holiday special. I've really been getting into these Pokemon challenges lately, and with a few solo runs being my most recent releases, I figured how can I make these a little bit more difficult while also capturing the holiday spirit. Well, I think I have just the run to do that. How about a Delibird only run? Why Delibird, you might ask? Well, if you're asking this, well, you've obviously never caught one of these little guys in the ice path growing up. So you probably don't realize they can only learn one move by level up, and that's Present. Oh, you don't know what Present is either? Well, let me break this one down for you. This move has a chance to deal either 40, 80, or 120 base power damage to the opponent based on the probabilities you see here. Oh, and I also forgot to mention that 20% of the time it has a chance to heal the target for 1/4 of its total health. Not only that, but Present is a physical normal move, and Delibird's base stats are lackluster at best. With an overall total of 330, while only having a HP and defense at a meager 45 each, this little guy is a glass cannon. Well, minus the cannon. The good news is that this little guy can learn a decent array of moves by TM, which should give us a pretty decent coverage overall. So with that being said, let's just see how fast we beat Pokémon Fire Red with just a single Delibird. Before I get into the rules, I just want to say thank you to everyone that's taken the time to check out the channel this year. With only 146 subscribers at this time, you can say that this channel is a little bit small, but I will continue to grow the channel throughout 2022 with much more Pokemon content to come. As a thank you, I'll be giving away some cards that you see here. This will be a free giveaway, and all you have to do to win is be a subscriber to the channel and let me know what your favorite part of 2021 was in the comments below. I'll be choosing a random commenter on New Year's Day during one of my live streams over on Twitch. You'll actually see 5 piles of cards here, which means there's going to be 5 total winners. After those winners are chosen at random on my Twitch, I'll also post them over on my Twitter. You can find the link for both of those in the description below. And if this video gets over 100 likes, I'll actually do another giveaway with my next video. And maybe it'll be something a little bit better next time too, who knows. But with that out of the way, let's take a look at the actual rules. I can only use Delibird in battle, but I can use other Pokemon for HMs. There will be no items in battle except for held items. There's no cheats or exploits, and I must beat the rival at the Elite Four to consider this run complete. And with all that out of the way, let's get to the actual video. So like many of my previous runs, I start off this game by using the Universal Pokemon Randomizer to replace Bulbasaur with Delibird. I choose to replace Bulbasaur so that my rival has Charmander, by far the hardest starter for Delibird to defeat. I name it Santa Claus because I think this is hilarious, and yes, penguins do in fact have claws. I looked it up. And you might have noticed something a little bit off with the coloring here. So yes, technically this is a cheat, but I turned on all the shinies for the entirety of this run. These alternate sprites will be a little present to everyone watching. This really doesn't have an effect on the run overall, so I figured you would let this one slide. So let's take a look at Santa Claus here. She does have a careful nature, so increase special defense and decrease special attack, which is really going to hurt considering special attack is one of the few things Delibird actually has going for it. It has the ability of Vital Spirit, which will prevent it from falling asleep, which will be very helpful in the long run. Again, its only move is Present, so let's just see how that treats us going forward. Well, that's not a good start. So after an absolute beatdown, I take my mangled penguin into the grass west of Viridian City. We take out our frustrations here on a few monkeys. Why Mankeys, you might ask? Well, you see, Mankey will give you attack EVs, and since Delibird's defense and HP are mediocre at best, I'm going to have to hope to brute force my way through the majority of the run. And after returning Oak's parcel, I return back to this route to take on my rival yet again. Did I ever mention that I named my rival Tim after yet another one of my Twitch subscribers? This Aussie legend is a streamer as well, and I will include a link to his channel in the description below. Go check out his content and let him know that this video sent you. I made sure to show Tim that the first battle was just a fluke, as his Pidgey and Charmander stood no chance against the numerous critical hits from Present. That really makes me wonder though, can you get a crit hit with the Present heal? Alright, whatever, we'll come back to that. I then make my way north to learn how to catch Pokemon from this old man. This tutorial is such a waste of... What the fuck? Are you kidding me? A shiny Pinsir for the catching tutorial, and this guy just casually catches it with the one and only Pokeball that he has without even dealing damage. If only it was that easy. If only. So yes, I did choose to randomize the catching tutorial as well, but that's the last of the cheats or changes I'm going to make going forward, okay? Just have to have some fun here, come on. After making my way through Viridian Forest, I decided to head straight to Brock's gym to see where Santa Claus stacks up at this point. Needless to say, but a level 18 Delibird will not do it for this gym. Santa Claus gets absolutely slaughtered by Camper Liam of all people. Can you imagine the abuse that Brock would have put it through with a Rock Tomb? We're gonna have to level up just a little bit more here. But then I remember something. What if I took away the RNG of Present by using a different move? And now you might be thinking,
Hey Foss, Delibird can only learn Present and there's no TMs at this point.
and to that I would say, yeah, you're correct. But let's not forget about the power of Struggle. Everyone who is anyone knows the power of Struggle. And it turns out that was the only change that we needed to put Camper Liam in his place. The same cannot be said for Brock's Onyx though, who laughs at our struggles before crushing my hopes and dreams. And Santa Claus. He got crushed too. Rest in peace, Delibird. Rest in peace. After a painful hour of grinding, I return to take on Brock yet again. At level 24 this time, things are going to be much different. With the blood of all the slaughtered monkeys, Santa Claus shows Geodude the real power of Struggle. But after that goes down, out comes our penguin friend's worst nightmare. With the scars of all the previous beatdowns still showing, Santa Claus is able to get off 2 struggles as Onyx misses the first Rock Tomb. The same cannot be said for the second attempt as Rock Tomb lands, bringing Santa Claus down to just 17 HP. From somewhere high above, RNGesus was looking down over Santa Claus as she lands a critical hit struggle to bring down the Rock Snake and earn us the first badge of the Kanto region. That critical hit and missed Rock Tomb saves so much time for this run, there's no way that I could have won the battle at this level without those 2 things happening. I make a quick pit stop at the Poke Center outside of Mount Moon so that I can show my giving spirit by supporting this gentleman's goldfish black market. After rescuing our golden friend, I set it free so they can go live with all of his other friends and family yet again. Wait, there's no water on the side of Mount Moon. I then head into Mount Moon to collect myself the Dome Fossil, which I decided to drop for this gentleman who was just torn over having to have the Helix Fossil. I mean, who would choose the Helix Fossil? Well, I mean, I was going to drop it, but it turns out that the Dome Fossil is actually a key item, so I actually can't drop it. Sorry dude, but it's the thought that counts, right? No? Okay, whatever. Santa Claus then gets its first taste of new powers, as she is able to learn Mega Punch and Mega Kick from these karate dudes just outside of Mount Moon. To put these powers to the test, we kick down the door to the Cerulean City Gym to take on Misty, who really puts me in a tough spot here as she leads with my favorite shiny Pokemon of them all. How badass is this white and green version of Staryu? If that is not one of the best alternative color schemes of a shiny Pokemon, then I don't know what is. What are you gonna tell me? Charmander's a better shiny? Get out of here. Water Pulse was really no threat, so after a couple Mega Kicks from Santa Claus, we had secured the Cascade badge as well as the TM for Water Pulse, which we put to use immediately. This is gonna make those battles against Tim so much easier going forward. Oh, and speaking of Tim, I then grab the TM for Secret Power before going to visit Bill, who gives me with the ticket to the SSN. I take this one-way ticket to kicking Tim's ass yet again, and proceed to head into the Captain's Course to get myself the Cut HM. I wonder what he's looking at here in the Garp. You son of a bitch. We then ditch the ship, add Diglett to the TM as a HM slave, and make our way into the Vermilion City Gym. Wait, how can Diglett use Cut but Delibird can't? Delibird literally has claws. What's Diglett hiding under the ground? Oh, I see. The garbage can puzzle that usually takes me forever was solved on the 3rd attempt, so it was time to take on the Lieutenant himself. His team of electric Pokemon will deal some terrifying damage to Delibird if they're able to land any attacks whatsoever. Luckily for me, the 75 accuracy Mega Kick lands on 3 straight turns to take out his Voltorb, his Pikachu, and his Raichu in just a single shot each. Huh. I thought this was going to be yet another brick wall for this playthrough. Turns out it wasn't. I then head back to Cerulean City. It's here where I think I get the bike, but some weird glitch happened where none of the text showed up. Now just kind of picture walking up to the counter, staring at the cashier, and he just hands the bike over, no questions asked. I shove the bike into my Hermione Granger-sized backpack before continuing on. I then head east of town where I find the TM for Aerial Ace conveniently lying on the ground, which I use to replace Present immediately. I eventually arrive in Celadon City, home of Erica's grass gym. There is something else important in this town though, and that's the game corner. Through the course of my journey, I had battled every trainer along the way to earn as much money as possible. You see, for a measly 4,000 coins, you can get the TM for Ice Beam. Despite spending every last penny on my microtransactions here, I am only able to accumulate 2,400 coins to show for it, so I was going to have to earn myself a little bit more cash. Luckily for me, Delibird's Ice Flying type, so Erica's gym of grass Pokemon was nothing more than some easy money. If you have children in the room, I would suggest covering their eyes as this one is an absolute slaughter. All the anger and frustration the Santa Claus had brewing up since Brock's battles was coming out in full force here. Aerial Ace is wiping each of Erica's Pokemon with just a single shot. I then have the itch to gamble yet again, but get distracted by the fellow staring at the poster on the wall. Like, dude, what are you doing over here? He magically disappears before our eyes without anyone else showing any concern. Yeah, this is just another normal day here at the Game Corner. And we've all seen enough of Team Rocket, so let me just summarize this one. I eventually get to Giovanni, who has a team of Ground-type Pokemon and Kangaskhan. So yeah, Kangaskhan did some damage I guess, but we don't need to mention what happened to the other two. We then head back to Lavender City, where we enter the Pokemon Tower to pay our respects to all those who stood in Santa Claus's way up until this point. We show this respect by confronting Tim yet again and causing absolute chaos and destruction right on top of their graves. We are then attacked by a disturbed spirit, who is rightfully put back in its place before we grab ourselves a Pokeflute and head back to Saffron City to take on the Sylph Company. After wiping Tim without any issue, I figured I would go right into the battle against rival Fivel. Thanks, Shiros. But that turns out to be much more difficult than I expected. After a very concerning loss, I had to turn to what I knew best, gambling. So I head back to the Game Corner where I earned 4,000 coins so that I could finally get that TM for Ice Beam, which turns out to be the only change needed for Santa Claus to easily wipe Charizard and the rest of Tim's team on the next attempt. I then grabbed myself the mythical being Nessie before continuing on to take on Giovanni yet again. Being that he only has ground types at this point, we should all know how this one goes. After this rich feller gives us the greatest Christmas gift of all times, we head into Sabrina's gym to take on her team of psychic Pokemon. Luckily, Ice Beam deals huge damage to Sabrina's Kadabra and Mr. Mime, and Aerial Ace takes out Venomoth, which I still don't get why Venomoth is in this gym considering it's not psychic in any way. Then there's Alakazam. Alakazam's insanely high special attack could mean the end of Santa Claus with her pitiful special defense. But after freezing it with an Ice Beam, it shows no remorse as it takes out Alakazam to earn us the 5th badge of the Kanto region. I then make my way to the Safari Zone. It's here where I grab the Surf HM, as well as the Golden Teeth that I eventually exchanged for the Strength HM, before making quick work of Koga's Poison type gym. I then make my way to Cinnabar Island and into the Pokemon Mansion, where I grab myself the Blizzard TM before heading into the gym to save the desperate trainers from their satanic ruler. And by satanic ruler, yes, I'm talking about Blaine. The guy who locked them in the gym with no other way out, then having some random trainer find a secret key that's hidden in the basement of a broken down mansion. This guy's crazy. But this gym is full of fire types, which can make it a difficult undertaking for Delibird. But luckily for me, Delibird does know Water Pulse, which makes a huge difference in this gym overall. Blaine's team goes down without any real threat, so with that, we are in need of only one more badge in the Kanto region. If you haven't seen the Giovanni fights up until this point, here's a quick recap. He has a team of Ground-type Pokemon. Ground-type Pokemon are weak to both Ice and Water types. Santa Claus just happens to know both Water Pulse as well as the stab move Ice Beam. I think we can all see where this one's going here. After 3 minutes of working my way through the final gym, it was time to make my way through Victory Road. But on the way there, Tim decides that he has something else to show me before I actually get to the Elite Four. If I've learned anything from my previous playthroughs, it's that Pidgeot will sand attack Santa Claus into oblivion if we mess around at all. So I just choose to hit it with Ice Beam on turn 1 to take it out. Rhydon was out next, but then it was gone just as fast as it arrived. So out comes Charizard. Charizard's Flamethrower will hit hard if we're not able to take it out with just a single shot. So let's see if an EV trained Ice Beam will be enough. Well, turns out it wasn't. Charizard then pulls out his Elon Musk Flamethrower, and it was the end of Delibird as we knew it. It's at this point where I just knew my hopes and dreams were going to go up in flames, just like Delibird. But as the smoke began to clear, a silhouette appears. Santa Claus looks at me through the smoke and says, "Hold my eggnog. We're not done here." She fires yet another Ice Beam which connects straight to the Fire Lizard's face. With only 3 HP to spare, Santa Claus pulls out all the tricks in the books as it takes down Execute and Alakazam with just a single shot, and is even able to power through the Intimidate from Gyarados to take it out with a single critical hit Blizzard. This is almost too easy. Oh god, we're screwed. After making my way through Victory Road and onto the Indigo Plateau, it was time to take on the Elite Four. Well, let's take a look at Santa Claus's stats one last time. We're currently sitting at level 75, which I honestly don't think will be high enough considering how lucky I had to be just to beat my rival. The moveset has not changed a whole lot recently, but I do have the feeling that we're going to be spamming Double Team just to get through the Lorelei and Champion battles. Ice Beam should be a solid and accurate option against the Dragons and Flying types, but Agatha could throw a curveball or two at me. With that being said, let's just go for it and see how it goes. First up was Lorelei, who leads off with Dugong. This battle against Dewgong should be the best time to spam double teams, so I go for that right here. But she does land Ice Beam for some huge damage, bringing Santa Claus down to less than half health. It then chooses some questionable moves such as Safeguard and Hail, which actually doesn't even deal damage to Delibirds, but it will damage the Slowbro that comes out later on, so I guess I'll take it. Dewgong is able to land one last Ice Beam before numerous aerial aces from Santa Claus finally takes it down. Cloyster is out next, and this thing is annoying as hell. It insists on spamming Protect on basically every turn, which really just drags out the battle in the long run. This move really doesn't change the outcomes of the battle, but it eventually goes down, so Slowbro is out next. Santa Claus lands an Ice Beam for next to no damage, but Slowbro is able to land a Surf on the next turn to take it out. With how little damage I actually did to Slowbro there, I'm gonna have to put on some more levels before giving this another try. So I head back into Victory Road to put on a few more levels before using my final rare candy to bring Delibird to level 80 before attempting this one more time. At level 80, Aerial Ace is able to deal some pretty big damage to Dewgong. I figured I would just use double teams against the Cloyster since it tends to just spam Protect anyways. I'm going to try to take out Dewgong as fast as possible here to avoid taking too much damage. After a few more Aerial Aces and another questionable use of Hail by Dewgong, it finally goes down, so out comes Cloyster. And of course I had plenty of opportunities to use double team here, as it insisted on using Protect on every single turn. Well, that is besides the turns where it used Hail and Spikes. So after stacking 6 total double teams, I finally took it out with Ice Beam. Then comes out Slowbro. It misses Surf on turn 1, while also taking some extra chip damage from Hail. After taking some decent damage from Aerial Ace, it tries to use Yawn, which does nothing to Delibird thanks to its Vital Spirit ability. One more Aerial Ace takes it out, bringing out Lapras. I chip away slowly at Lapras while taking no damage in the process. Last up was Jinx, who laughs at us, as Water Pulse does next to nothing compared to the Ice Punch that manages to land on the next turn. This one could be a little bit tougher than I thought. I do go for Aerial Ace instead, which was more than enough to actually take it out. So with that, we'd actually defeated the first member of the Elite Four. Bruno's team of fighting and rock types should be no problem at all for the powers of Santa Claus. Try not to blink too many times because you might miss the entirety of this battle. Let me summarize it for you though. Onyx, dead. Hitmonchan, dead. Machamp, yeah, he's dead too. Onyx, again? Yeah, still dead. How about Hitmonlee? Yeah, let's just move on. Agatha was up next, and her team of ghost Pokemon could be a little bit more difficult to overcome. Gengar and Santa Claus spend the first 2 minutes of this fight in an epic dance battle that eventually leaves St. Nicholas on top. She then decides to send out a worm, and we all know how well worms stand up against birds. Wait, are penguins birds? Next up for Agatha is her bat, and apparently she does not know the bats are not a big fan of winter. And with that being said, Golbat goes down to a single Ice Beam. So we've taken out the most difficult members of our team so far. The souls of Agatha's dead team return in the forms of Gengar and Haunter, but these two stand no chance at all against the awesome powers and incredible Ultra Instinct techniques of Santa Claus. Now I'm just picturing Santa Claus as a Super Saiyan. That'd be freaking sweet. There has to be fan art out there somewhere, right? If there is, you're gonna see it on the screen now. With almost too much confidence going into this next battle, I knew their little purple friend would have more than enough to take down the Dragon Master himself. Gyarados leads off and again drops our attack with Intimidate. Not having any solid move choices here and knowing that Gyarados wasn't much of a threat, I chose to use a couple double teams before finally bringing it down with Ice Beams. If I would have just realized how much of a massacre this was going to be, I think I would have just skipped the double teams altogether. Even the mighty Dragonite cannot withstand the bitter cold. So without further ado, it was time to take our rightful place as the champion. I load up Santa Claus with the last of our drugs to give its PP a little rise. Guys, Pokemon power, get your mind out of the gutter. But I also gave it some other drugs to bring up its HP as well. Our last fight against our Aussie friend left me sweating and Delibird scarred, but Santa Claus's constant beatings have only made it stronger and eager for revenge. Cosplay Ho-Oh was out first, and again I need to focus on avoiding sand attacks at all costs here. Every missed attack going forward is going to lead to a guaranteed loss, at which point I'll just have to run through the entire Elite Four yet again. Yeah, that's right, I'm still not saving before these battles. Santa Claus wastes little time before demonstrating its new dance moves. Unamused, Pidgeot lands 2 straight aerial aces to bring our little penguin friend to just over half health. Knowing that Charizard also has some aerial aces that it could use, I could not afford to lose any more health. So a single Ice Beam takes it out, bringing out Rhydon. This Stone Rhino insists on using Rock Tomb, which is highly inaccurate, so I felt confident getting off one more double team before pulsing some non-existent water to take it out. And with that, we have the pleasure of dealing with the second coolest shiny sprite behind Staryu. Charizard knows Flame Blast at this point. With only 70 accuracy and 3 stacked double teams on Santa Claus, this should not be much of a threat. Christmas came early though, as Delibird's Ice Beam lands a crit hit to take out the well done lizard with just a single shot. That was the best case scenario, but this battle is not over yet. Out comes Alakazam, whose minor differences in color actually make it look cool as hell. Ice Beam nearly takes it out with a single shot, but it puts up a Reflect before being brought back to full health with a full restore. I figured now is the time to focus on special attacks since Reflect was up, so I go for Water Pulse, which confuses Alakazam as it attempts to figure out where the fuck we found water in the first place. It hits itself in confusion, and another Water Pulse brings it down to low health. Anticipating another full restore, I decide to get in one more double team just to be safe. Hoping that Reflect will wear off soon, I go for an Aerial Ace, which again crit hits and bypasses that boosted defense and takes out Alakazam. The end was in sight at this point, and we were sitting very well. Execute was out next and had no idea what a penguin even was. Luckily for it though, there wasn't that much time for it to actually figure that out, as Aerial Ace knocks it out with just a couple shots. And last out is the one shiny sprite that almost everybody is familiar with, Water Onyx. Thanks Madrybred, that's a great reference to this Pokemon. But just like all the other Onyx before it, it too falls short to the might of the powerful Santa Claus and its Beam of Ice. With incredible luck on our side, Santa Claus and I make our way into the Hall of Fame, where she joins the ranks of Oddish, Mew, and the Kabutops that came before it. I can't even begin to tell you how lucky we got through pretty much this entire run. Sure, we EV trained the hell out of Delibird through the initial 3 hours of this run, but I truly believe that RNGesus was watching over us as we made our way through what I would consider a Christmas miracle run. This run was super fun, and I can't wait to see what next year has in store for this channel. I do want to say thank you to everyone who has made it this far into the video. You are the ones that keep motivating me to continue to put out this content. These videos take an insanely long time to put together outside my usual 40-hour work week, but I have a ton of fun doing it, so I'm gonna keep doing it. But that's gonna do for today's video. Remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let me know what your favorite part of 2021 was in the comments below for your chance to win some free Pokemon cards. I will choose those winners live over my Twitch stream on New Year's Day, and then later I'll post it on Twitter as well. Links for both in the description below. Sure, we might be leaving 2021 with only 146 subscribers at this point, but let's see if we can reach 5,000 by the end of next year. Yeah, that's right, 5,000 YouTube, let's make it happen. I hope to see you there, but for now, have yourself a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays. Good luck with that random giveaway, and I'll catch you in the next one.